Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now, as promised, today I'm going to make I know it's going to be a highly controversial video of 5 reasons why you should not buy a Rolex. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing a Breguet Marine, a very viable alternative to a Rolex, and a watch I love very much. Also, guys, very cool watches have just come in stock, of course, at delraywatch.com. We just got in an Eastern Arabic dial Gerard Perigo Laureato, limited to 28 pieces. We got in an IWC vintage Caliber 89 with Bombay lugs, one of the most iconic IWCs ever made. And for all you Aquanaut lovers, we got in a Piaget Polo S timepiece, which is very reminiscent of the Aquanaut, also with an in-house movement, but for a fraction of the price. All that and more at delraywatch.com, link in the description below. So yeah, guys, you may remember my last videos, 5 reasons why Rolex is the perfect watch. And I think there's a pretty compelling argument, compelling argument to be made about Rolex being near perfect and having it be a one-watch collection. However, I did allude I would make a video of 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy a Rolex, and that is today's video. Now, I will kind of preface this by saying this is entirely based on my opinion, and I'm aware this video is highly negative, but that is the point of this video. It is to balance off 5 reasons why Rolex is the perfect watch. This is entirely negative, 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy a Rolex. So, please keep that in mind before I have to put on my flame suit for the comments. But anyway, guys, let's get right into it with the first reason. Firstly is Rolex is awful value for money. Market, even retail. So retail, they're already too expensive, but market price, the fact that they're selling above retail, I mean, honestly, they are god-awful value for money. A sub cost $5,000 more than this Breguet Marine, which has a hand-finished movement, a gold rotor, has a hand guilloche dial, a big date, and it's Breguet, not Rolex. Listen, for the price of a Rolex, you can get complications, perpetual calendars, you can get even gold case watches. No one can convince me Rolex is not an awful deal for the price, because it absolutely is. The second one, and probably the most important for me, Rolex is not true luxury. Just because you pay luxury price for a product doesn't make it a luxury product. It's mass produced. It's common. They make more than 1 million a year on an assembly line. To quote one of my favorite TV shows, Entourage, Rolex is a bar mitzvah watch. There are so many watches, more expensive and less expensive, that are true luxury products. But when you make 1 million of something a year in an assembly line, just because everybody wants it, doesn't mean it's a luxury product. Because you know what? It just isn't. Third, Rolex can attract bad types of attention. It's a status symbol. It's expensive. It could send the wrong signals to people. It can make you look maybe flashy. Or if you're traveling in some not so savory places, it might bring some negative, potentially criminal attention onto you. Point is, it makes a statement, and that can be a good thing, but it can also absolutely be a bad thing. Fourth, Rolex, awful customer service. The games you have to play with the authorized dealers, the games you have to play with the service centers. Rolex doesn't care if you buy a Rolex. Rolex could give 2 shits, to be totally honest with you. There are brands that if you buy one of their pieces, they'll actually, or if you're a collector of their brand, they'll invite you to the manufacturer, to Switzerland, to meet their watchmakers, to learn their history. They'll throw dinners at their authorized dealers, have a cocktail, check out the new collection. At Rolex, you won't get any of that. Give me your credit card and get the hell out of my store. If they even have what you want to buy. That's pretty much what Rolex does. Customer service is awful across the, I mean, it's a broad statement, but it's mostly awful across the authorized dealers, and there's no special perks. And last but not least, and actually probably the worst one for me, more so than the luxury thing, is I find it lacks personality. Federico, but don't you own two Rolexes? Yeah, I do. I got the weird ones, the one with the baby blue highlights and the one with the green dial and the green bezel. I do like the designs, but overall, they've almost become uniforms. Uniforms for middle managers that got bonuses. That's the thing with Rolex. Do you actually want a Rolex, or do you want a Rolex to fit in? There's so many of them walking down Fifth Avenue or Brickell here in Miami that what's the point? What's the point of spending so much money if you don't have something special? So common. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Yes, highly negative, but it was to balance off the other video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. And please don't forget to subscribe. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.